Hey guys, Fresh Ninja here. Just wanted to let you know before the video starts that in my recent video, in my first video, I didn't know how to do time lapse. I mentioned that in the description. But I finally figured out how to do it. Took me a while, but anyway, got it figured out. So in this video, it's not going to be as long as the last one because I didn't have time lapse in it. I have time lapse in this video, and I also figured out how to add extra audio and all that other cool stuff. So anyway, this video is a little bit extra long. It's not as long as the other one, but it is long because of the fact that the controller that I was adding the shell kit on was modded, and it was the modded controller that has the special button on the back of the controller that activates the mod. And just drilling the hole in the back of the shell kit and gluing it all together and getting that all figured out just took a little bit longer than usual. But my future videos, they won't be as long. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.
Hey guys, Fresh Ninja here. Today's video will be how to install your Xbox 360 controller shell kit, and the things you will need: T8 security screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver. And make sure when you start out you have your shell kit and all your parts figured out and all set out, so it's easier to put it all together. So first we will start by unscrewing the 6 screws. Now before we get started, I want to make a note real quick that so this is a modded controller, and depending on the controller, there are ones where there are specific modded controllers where on the back to activate the mod there's a small button on the back of the controller, and with this in here you'll have to do a bit of modification. I had to take the shell kit here and drill a hole right there to match it, and when you take it apart also there's going to be it's going to be, when you take it off, as you see here, there's glue on this specific controller. I don't know if it's going to be on any other controller, but it will be glued. Like this one was glued like a lot onto this back of the shell here. That's how it was put on here, and that's to activate the mod. When you take it apart, make sure to be careful. All I did was get it off and get it hanging to where you can get to this, and I just took a very skinny flathead screwdriver, and I just went up against it and just went around it and peeled the glue right off. And it takes some patience, but you'll get it off. But otherwise, if you have a modded controller and it's activated by a certain button sequence and there's nothing extra, it's just simply you pull it off and you're good to go. So once you get your circuit board out, go ahead and set your shell kit aside, pull off, make sure you get your rubber pads and put them next to the shell. So now the first thing we will do, go ahead and flip it over, pull your sticks off if you want to, because they come with it. If you want to, you can. You don't have to, but pull your sticks off. And also, when you put it back together, if your shell kit comes with different screws, make sure you use those, because if you use the original screws are a lot larger than the ones that come with the kit, and if you put it together with the original screws, it'll crack the shell kit. So make sure you use the screws that come with it. Anywho, let's get to the install. So first off, we're going to take our triggers off. There's an arm here. You can get a screwdriver, all you gotta do is pull it off, push it, you just push to the side and then push down and it comes off. And then there's two little stops, two little plastic stops that you just gotta kind of pry those open and it comes right off. And just a note, also, there's a spring when you pull it off, so if you don't grab onto it, it'll fling open. So we'll keep that, and then once you just the trigger just slides right off. So keep that. Go ahead and take the arm off the other one. Alright, now we got the triggers off, so get the triggers that came with your kit. Make sure you get them on the, make sure you get the right triggers on the right ends, on the right side. So what we'll do, so flipped over, so this is the right side. So they just slide on, get your spring, go ahead and put the spring on the guide on the inside of the trigger and just snap it right in. Take your screwdriver, pull your arm up, and there. Trigger's installed. Now do the same with the other side. You got both triggers on there. So now flip it over. Go ahead and put your new sticks in. They just get pushed on. Now once that's done, set that aside. And now get your front side of the shell out, and we'll start putting our buttons in. They'll just fall right into place when you get the pieces lined up. Very simple. Also, I've repaired I've installed a shell kit on here before, and your original light separator on your original controller, when you buy a shell kit, they'll most likely it'll come with an aftermarket light ring, and this one doesn't separate the light at all. It's not very. It's not too bad, but you can't, if you like the fact that how the light separates better on the controller, they won't, when it comes with one, they won't fit very well on the new controller. You'll have to replace it. So that's a downside if you can't find a kit that'll allow you to take the original one and stick it in there. So make sure you use the ring that comes with the kit. Go ahead and take your rubber piece and just kind of push it on there. Now next is our D-pad. shell kit won't come with the screws from the D-pad, so there are 2 Phillips screws in the old D-pad of your original controller. And go ahead, and they're Phillips, so unscrew those. And you just there's just some clips in there, you just take a screwdriver and go ahead and kind of pry it off a little bit. It should just come straight out. Sometimes those clips are really hard, so you'll have to get another screwdriver and kind of push those in so you can get them out. Set the side, turn your shell kit back on. Get your shell kit D-pad. Now, when you get your D-pad in, put the rubber pad on. There's a little notch on the pad on the controller. Make sure you line those up and just push it in. Next will be our get the sync button on. There's a little just a little tiny shaft right there, and there's a little hole right there on the sync button. Make sure the sync's pointing the way it goes in the hole, and just align the little shaft. Take a screwdriver and just push it in just like that. And sometimes most time those sync buttons don't stay in, so just go ahead and you can get some super glue or hot glue or whatever, and just put a dab of that on the shaft so it doesn't come out. Now you just take the bumpers and make sure the tabs are facing up towards you, and you just slide them in. Next is your bottom piece, your mic piece, what I call it. Just a couple guides, push it into place. Real simple. Take your circuit board, line them up. Put your tumblers in. Now on this controller, like I said, because it's got a special button on the back, make sure the hole's drilled on the back of your shell kit. And this is kind of the tricky part here, is getting this glued on. Take your super glue or hot glue, whatever your choice. I prefer super glue since it doesn't make such a mess. Push it on. Hold it there for about 30 seconds or so. Or until it just falls in, or until it sets, either way. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's fast. Once the glue's all set, take your shell kit, get the tumblers in. Push everything back together. Make sure you use the screws that came with the kit. There you go. Once it's all in there you go.